I just watched the beginning of a video on Matthew's channel, Footnotes to Plato. A video with a man, and they talked about the motion of the planets and the impact of Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune on the war in Ukraine and Putin. And I made videos about the philosophy of nature, and Hegel's philosophy of nature is the most brilliant attempt to reconcile science with pseudoscience. So, in the absolute, everything is true and everything is false. Only the movement of consciousness is true, but the so-called pseudoscience, occult sciences like astrology and stuff like that, they are kind of true. They are an improper way of expressing a deep truth, and I know it because I'm an alchemist. And there are songs which pop into my mind, and most notably Sins of the Father by Donna Burke. All the thoughts keep piercing this broken mind. My mind is broken because it is not whole. My real mind is the mind of God in its wholeness and totality, and I am what Hegel calls the negative, what is the power of pure thought or understanding. It's the power of becoming, the separation which gives movement. It is written at the beginning of the Phenomenology, and there are thoughts coming to me from everywhere, in the news, on the internet, the videos that I watch, the conversations that I have, and they try to, it's not that they try, they pierce my broken mind, and I try to make sense of them. And there's another song, no, the same song, it says, all this pain reminds me of what I am. I live. I'll become all I need to be. I understand that I am, my higher self is asleep, and only pain can wake me up. And as an empirical individual, my intellectual development began in August 2016 with the death of a priest, and I was so shocked that I sought to understand. I wanted to understand why it had happened. My leftist worldview that I had then was incapable of explaining such an act. So I changed step by step my worldview, and I went full right-wing, far right, until I discovered Hegel, which was a more holistic, totalistic approach. So the beginning of my intellectual development was marked by emotional pain, and in order to wake myself up, I need physical pain. I hate it. My empirical self hates it, but it must be overcome. This is what Hegel calls the negation of the negative, and I can only become myself as my real higher self by overcoming the suffering. And there's another song I discovered in 2018, and it was Phenomenal by Eminem, and I had just discovered Hegel, and I had some weird moments when I said to myself, sorry, but wait a minute, this song by Eminem is the story of the phenomenology of spirit by Hegel. How could Eminem know about Hegel and translate the phenomenology in a song? How is that possible? I was very confused, but I had moments of clarity, which from an external point of view appear as moments of madness, but moments of rationality, where I distinguish the deep truth within the song. And this song says the story of spirit, and spirit becomes a monster to himself, and this is why there are so much horrors and pain and suffering in the world, because it's within the nature of spirit. There's a negative, a dark aspect, and that's why the world, there are dark events and moments in the world, and I must reconcile myself with my dark aspects, and that's the only condition which will enable me to become what I really am, namely my transcendental self, and to surpass myself. And yeah, so I the each singular consciousness will be awakened, and there will be a global interconnected flow of consciousness, and the knowledge about all the topics, all the aspects of existence will be made manifest to all, and it's in the process of occurring. And right now everyone hates Putin, but um, Putin is not free, because only God is free, and the liberation of mankind consists in understanding and becoming one with the process of God and the process of the absolute, and to find peace and joy in the being one with the divine. And this is what in the religions they call salvation. And I am a broken mind and a tormented soul, and I must restore my balance and my full intellectual cognition of reality, of mankind, of myself, of God. And this is this entire process that we call the life of the absolute. And I will become more and more actualized, because informations are coming at me from everywhere, and even though my brain is limited in cognitive abilities, I will do my best to try to order and transform the information, and share the information that I gather. I will become the receptacle of world information. We are all, in a sense, we all receive information from the whole world, and we express. It's a inhaling, exhaling. It's inspire, expire. That's what Philip K. Dick understood so well. There's only one being which inhales and exhales, and this being is made of information. So I am the receptacle and the transmitter of the information that my current position in the world enables me to understand and share. And yeah.